Welcome to Artastic at the Grand Rapids Area Library. My name is Diana, and I'm going to be your host, I guess I can call it a host, of Artastic for the next few months, because Grandma Nancy has been doing this for 5 years, and we think it's time she gets to have a break. So I'm going to take over for her and be doing some great art projects with you this year. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, and I'm going to give you a riddle and see if you can figure it out. You probably also, if you're paying attention, you'll know from the books on the table, but here we go. In every house I might be found, where dust and shadows are around, my web's a net that's light as air and catches things who wander there. So what do you think we're going to be talking about today? If you said spiders, you're right. What do you think of spiders? I feel like some people hate spiders. They just are so creepy. They run away. They are scared of spiders, and spiders are just scary for them. Other people really like spiders and think they're pretty cool. So no matter where you're at, I'm hoping that after this program, maybe you will change your mind a little bit if you are afraid of spiders. Spiders are one of my very favorite animals. I can watch a spider forever. I think they are so cool. I sometimes find them in my basement. And my husband doesn't like them very much. So he'll yell my name, Diana. I'll come down and have to usually take the spider outside. So I hope that you are not a spider killer, but a spider rescuer. And you will do that, because you're gonna find out, I'm gonna be talking about spiders as we do our program today, that spiders are very important to our environment. There are spiders everywhere, okay? Spiders are living in your house. Sorry, they really are. They're outside, of course. They're in the trees, they're in the grass. And you know there are 45,000 different kinds of spiders in the world. In Minnesota, we only have between 400 to 500 different kinds, but in the whole world, there's even more. I think the reason that some people are afraid of spiders is that they're kind of unexpected what they're going to do. They run fast, they kind of scare you, they jump out in front of you, or you'll see one kind of just going off into the corner. And it kind of makes people like, afraid when they see one. You don't have to be afraid. Most spiders in Minnesota do not bite. Very few bite up here in the northern part of Minnesota. And we don't have any poisonous spiders in the northern part of Minnesota. So even if you do get bit, it's not gonna harm you at all. You probably, when people say spiders, you usually think of tarantulas, or you think of the black widow spider. I believe, yeah, the black widow. Or here's a tarantula book right here. And those are the spiders that can hurt you if they bite you, but we don't have black widow spiders or tarantulas up in the northern part of Minnesota. The other spider, if I asked you to name a spider, a lot of people will say daddy long legs. If you've ever seen the little body with those big legs. And actually, daddy long leg is not even a spider. It's not even a real spider. So that's kind of interesting as well. So as we do our program today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about spiders, and it's going to be super fun. So hopefully you will get your kit at the Grand Rapids Library. Just come to the desk and ask, and they will get you your kit for you. So let's see what's in it today. Ooh, interesting. So we have a bunch of these boingy wired stems. Sometimes we call them pipe cleaners. So you have some long ones and you have some short ones. What else is in here? Oh, there's something really small in the bottom. So when you open your kit, be super careful. There should be 4 of these little wiggly eyes. So little plastic wiggly eyes. Don't do what I just did. So they're in the bottom of your bag. So maybe leave them in until the end. And we have a glue stick. So that's pretty cool. So what do you think we're gonna do with these supplies? Well, hang on, and I'm going to show you. So what you're going to need to set up your table or your work area today is basically the supplies in the kit. You might want to have like a pencil or a pen or a marker to use for wrapping around, but you can even use your finger, so that'll work as well. So go set up your supplies, get your bag, open it up, and let's get started. All right, so here's my supplies that I've got from my kit. You're going to have 4 of these pipe cleaners that are short, and then you're gonna need 2 long ones, 2 black long ones, and a colorful one. I've got my wiggly eyes and my glue, and here is what we're going to make. What do you think? Isn't he cute? Well, maybe your mom won't think he's cute. So gotta promise me you're not gonna scare anybody with this, right? Okay, maybe you can, but he's not really that scary. If you've ever used these pipe cleaners before, you can see they're super fun because you can bend them and they hold the shape, so you can make all kinds of different things with them. They're also not very expensive, and I often will find them in thrift stores for like 50 cents for a whole package. So you can buy them. I saw a girl on the internet who was making flowers out of them that were really neat, and they're just kind of a fun craft supply. So today we are going to be making Mr. Spider here. So once again, spiders are super cool. They're not insects, okay? Because insects have 6 legs and spiders have 8 legs. That's kind of cool. They are of the group called arachnids. So they're in the family with wood ticks and scorpions and those daddy long legs I was talking about. That's all arachnids. Spiders eat insects, and we don't like to have buzzy mosquitoes and flies around very much, and so they are nature's pest control. So to me, that seems like a really good reason to make sure we protect spiders and let them do their thing. They have a really cool way of catching their food, as you probably know. So some spiders will spin a web. Some spiders do not. So the web spinners have either the orb webs, which are the traditional big spider webs, or you might see the funnels that you have going in there as well. So there's the funnel spiders. And the other kinds of spiders are hunters. So they will just ambush their prey, they'll chase them, that kind of thing. So if you've never spent time watching a spider web, I totally recommend it. Go out one night with a flashlight and watch the spider web as insects land in it, and the spider will kind of rush towards it and wrap it up with silk, and then it drinks the juices. So pretty cool. Maybe that's why spiders are kind of creepy. I don't know. All right, so let's get going on making your spider. In your kit, you'll notice that you have enough materials to make 2 of these little guys. So there should be 2 colored pipe cleaners. There should be 4 long ones, and then enough legs and eyes to make 2, which is pretty cool, I think. All right, so to start out, you're going to need 2 of the long pipe cleaners, 1 colored and 1 black. And you're going to grab the 2 ends, make sure they're lined up, and kind of squeeze them between your fingers. And then you're going to just start to twist. So you'll see my left hand is doing nothing. My left hand is just holding still while I am twisting with my right hand. And you can move it up as you go. So you'll see it's getting striped, which is pretty cool. That's gonna make the body of the spider. Now, on a spider, the body is called the abdomen. It's where all the guts are in the spider, okay? So where all the food goes when he eats and all that kind of good stuff. The other part of the spiders have only 2 body parts. So they have a head, and then they have the abdomen. Insects have 3. They have an area called the thorax, and the thorax is where the legs are attached. Now, when you get down here, you're gonna find you probably have more black. What I'm gonna do is just kind of wrap it back around that edge. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so now you got this really cool stripy pipe cleaner, which is going to be the body, the abdomen of the spider. Okay, this is where you're going to need either a pen, a marker, your finger will work, or maybe your brother's finger might work. And you're just going to start to wrap it around. See what I'm doing? I'm wrapping it around. And again, there's a wire in there. So when I take it off, it's now boing, 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 boing. Isn't that cool? So that's going to be the abdomen of the spider. All right, now we're gonna work on the head of the spider. All right, so you're gonna take your other black, long black one, and you're just gonna put it right through the middle, like that. And then you're gonna fold it over so that those two ends meet up. You'll notice that this part is not in the body. Okay, that part's on the outside. And I'm gonna switch it over because I'm right-handed, so I like to twist with my right hand. And I'm gonna hold this part with my left hand, and I'm just gonna keep twisting, more twisting here. And I'm gonna twist and twist and twist until they get to the end once again. All the way to the end. There. Now, looks pretty funny right now. That doesn't look like much of a spider, does it? Trust me, it will. Okay, so now the most important part of the spider, of course, are the legs. And you have 4 of these little short ones. What you're going to do is you're gonna fold them so that the 2 points are even. You're making a little V shape, and you're going to do that with all of those. Okay, so did you know that spider legs are kind of sticky? So when they're on their webs, they don't fall off. They can crawl through there, which is pretty neat. That's kind of fun. And of course they have 8, so that's really cool. Some spiders have fuzzy legs. Some spiders have just smooth legs. All right, so your legs are all going to be attached to this head. I guess it has an official sciencey name. That it's kind of a thorax. It has a long name that I can't even pronounce, but it's like the head and thorax together. So like on an insect, these legs would all be attached to the thorax, but on a spider, it's attached to both the head thorax area. So you're going to take one of your legs, actually I guess it's 2 legs, isn't it? And put it right at the point where your body meets the part you twisted. I kind of pushed it together, if you can see. And then you're just gonna twist it maybe, oh, I don't know, 2-3 times, like that. And you want your legs to be sticking out to the side. Okay, then we're gonna take another one. Put it right on there. Twist it 2 or 3 times. Okay, we got another one. Don't worry if they're sticking out all over the place. That's what the beauty is about these pipe cleaners, is that you can just bend them where you want them to go. Okay, we got another one. How many legs we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we need 2 more legs. So we're gonna put 1 more on there. Twist it. Okay, now he's got all these legs just all over the place, which is cool. But this looks really funny, doesn't it? So we need to make that a head. So what I do is I just kind of roll it up. And there's really no right or wrong way to do this. You just want to kind of make it all kind of bungle in there. So it's a nice head. There, like that. Okay, now that's not gonna look very good, is it? It's tipping right over. So we've got to get the legs organized. So what I do is I just take the legs and I kind of push them out. Then I make sure I'm turning him upside down, if you see. So each leg has a partner. It doesn't even have to be the real partner. It can be just a partner like that, there. Okay, that's a little better. All right, and now we want to make sure he has feet and we want the legs to be bent and he has feet. So what I do is I put my finger I bend it down, and I make a little foot. And then I take my finger, I bend it down, and I make another foot. And my legs aren't very even. Some of them are shorter than the others. So if you do have a scissor and you want to cut them off so they're shorter, you can. Here's the deal though. There's wire inside of these. So if you do that, if you use your mom's good scissors, she's going to be mad. So you need to find an old scissor that's just kind of not very sharp, and you can do that. But you know what, it's fine. I kind of like them all a different length. Now, mine's a little wonky here, so I'm gonna kind of bend it over, check it out, see what I can do with that part. That's what's so cool about it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, this guy's gotta go on this side. There we go. And this guy's gotta go on this side. See, sometimes that's what happens, it's okay. There we go. So get your legs all organized, and then you can squish his body up again. Isn't he cute? Okay, now we're missing something. Hold on, my one leg is all off. One of these is in the wrong spot. Let's get this figured out. There we go. Okay, there's my spider. Now, he needs to have some eyes, doesn't he? Did you know that spiders have 8 eyes? They really do. They have 8 eyes. But what's cool about that, I guess it's not cool for the spider, but even though they have 8 eyes, they can't see very well. Spiders are almost blind. They rely mostly on their sense of, like vibration. So when they're on their web and something lands in the web will vibrate, and then they can kind of rush towards it. So even though they have all those eyes, they aren't very good at seeing, which is kind of interesting. So you're going to be putting your eyes, of course, on its head. So you have a glue stick in your kit. And it's good if it's a new glue stick, the glue is kind of already sticking up. What I would suggest is put your eye on top of the glue and just kind of go, whoops, I didn't mean that to happen. Kind of rub it around until it gets sticky, and then stick it on your spider. There we go. Oop, it sticks to my hands. Okay, then we take the other one, rub it around. Get the glue on the bottom and stick it on your spider. Oh, that eye went kind of inside. If you do have more wiggly eyes, it might be fun to try to put 8 eyes on your spider. Okay, that would be kind of neat. The eyes want to stick to my hand, not the pipe cleaners. There we go. So that might be a cool trick, is to you could even cut eyes out of paper. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be really neat too. I'm gonna just go whoop. Anyway, I'm struggling with my eye here. Also, if you have glue that's a little more liquidy, like Elmer's glue might work better than the glue stick, but there we go. I knew that would work. So there he is, isn't he cute? Now he has a friend, and you will have enough materials to make 2. So you can have 2, you can give them a name. What would you call them? I don't know, it'd be kind of cool to call them and have a name and they can play together. So I want to show you a couple books that I have, that they have here at the Grand Rapids Library. If you are interested in spiders, you can do a couple things. You can come down to the library and check out a book and read all about them. You can also watch, there's lots of YouTube videos for kids about spiders that are really neat as well. I'm going to show you a couple books about some of my favorite spiders. Jumping spiders are one of my favorites because take a look at that face. Isn't it cool? And they're so fuzzy. They're tiny. They're not very big. They're like smaller than my pinky nail. But they are the coolest little spiders, and that they jump. They actually can jump really high and far, which is kind of neat. So that's one of my favorites. Another spider that a lot of people like are wolf spiders, and we do have wolf spiders in Minnesota. They are really furry, And they also have a funny little face. It looks like a little face with their eyes. They have these little cool eyes that they use. And they get really big. So they can be pretty big for Minnesota. They're not as big as like a tarantula, but you might see wolf spider. And a third, these garden spiders. This book is called Crafty Garden Spiders. This would be an orb weaver, which is another one of my favorites because they make the spider web that has all the orbs or the circular spider webs. The largest spider in Minnesota is the fishing spider, which can be up to 3 inches with its legs. And that one can actually live in water and it can catch little fish. So that's pretty cool. This is my book. My favorite book right here is Spiders of the North Woods. And it has all the really cool spiders that you can see here just in Minnesota, which is really, really neat. And my last favorite spider is the crab spider. I don't know if I can find it quick, but the crab spider is cool in that it changes color. So it will change, here it is right here. It can change color from gold to green to white, depending on what plant it's on. So that's a really neat spider as well. So I hope you have enjoyed learning about spiders and making a couple of cool little friends that now you can play with. So again, if you have not gotten to the Grand Rapids Library to pick up your kit, please go down with your favorite grown-up and get your little bag and have fun making spiders at home. Thank you.